Alright, so time for part 2 of the tutorial for Alice Madness Returns Any Percent. This will be all about chapter 2. So right off the bat, in the London area, you're just going to hold straight forward.
That reminds me of my snowdrop. Nanny knew her.
And then, again, not a ton to explain. Just try and cut corners where you can and keep holding forward.
Let's slip out the back. Proper pint of the wagon.
Which one's the biggest?
Alright,
Murdered. Free Bob then.
so for this next area, there is a large skip for it. I'm actually just going to show the route for the skip because it is very, very easy and I would highly recommend that everybody does it. So, what you're going to do, you're going to come over to here by this rock. Try and line yourself up so that Alice's head is like, line up the camera so that Alice's head is basically those two rocks in the background. You want her head to be right about in the crack in the middle of them. It's pretty lenient. You can be a little bit to one side or the other and it doesn't matter too much. But then, I'll show that again. Just kind of shrink into the corner, unshrink, and immediately just start pressing A. Just keep jumping. Try and jump at the right timing. Otherwise, you're gonna start doing some kind of strange things. Like if you try and jump too fast, that can happen. And then if you jump too slow, you can fall off too. So try and kind of jump pretty much as soon as you land. And then you're going to get up to the top. You can... This is what the area looks like once you look at the collisions. You got a lot of room. But you want to go this way. So the easiest way to I find to line up is to look right about in the middle of this kind of diagonal piece of ice. Jump forward, 2 twirls, and a dash. And that lands you right here. Basically right in the middle. It's super safe. Be careful not to go too far left. If you go too far right, it's not a huge deal, but if you go too far left, you're going to fall out of bounds, and then the only way you can get back is by restarting the level. And then from here, kind of facing the same direction, right about in the middle of that diagonal thing. 1, 2 twirls again, and then a dash, and that lands you here. And then you can just kind of dash out to this corner. Alright, so now the lineup is on the horizon. For the visual cue, you see there's these little bumps on the horizon. There's this jagged one that's above Alice's head right now. This one right here, it's a little smaller. And then this one off to the side. You want to put Alice's head basically right on top of that middle one. Jump forward, and then do 3 twirls where you hold the float all the way to the end. So just keep holding A all the way until Alice starts to drop, and then immediately do it again. And that'll get you into here. And now once you're in here, just kind of jump over to your right, like hold directly to your right to get that on top of here. And now there's an invisible wall over to the left side here. Like if I were to try and go straight, I would run directly into this invisible wall, and it would kind of push me off. So I don't want to do that, so I'm going to jump around it to the right. onto here. Be careful about going too far to the left here, because you can kind of fall off of this wall, even though you're not supposed to be able to. So kind of like, you can either do that and do 3 dashes like that, or let me get to the right place. 1 second. There it is. You can either do 3 dashes to the right like that, or you can kind of dash a little more towards the middle of the room, get to about here, and now here I won't fall off. But your goal is to get over in this direction. So once you're here, you can jump up onto this platform, and now be careful, there's a lot of ice here that does there's some ice here that has collision, but a lot of it doesn't. Like, if you turn on the collision here, you see this whole area in the middle has no collision, so you want to try and be careful about that. If you just dash and don't have any inputs other than dash, you won't fall off, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Like I'm not holding any directions, I'm not pressing any buttons other than the dash button. And now from here, just quick jump dash, land through here. Get into that corner there. Oh, that's a little too far. Alright, so now the visual cue here is, you see there's this iceberg over to the side here. You want to get that just barely off of your screen. And then it's going to be the same thing as before. You jump, and then you hold your floats all the way until they run out. Until you get inside of the wall here. Once you're inside of the wall, you can just drop down. There's a floor beneath you. So, and also be careful about jumping around here, because there is a death plane. See if I can see it. Yeah, see that green box there? That is a death plane. If you hit that, it'll just respawn you, and that's a bad time. So, over to here. This entire platform is solid, so you don't need to worry about too much about it. You're gonna want to jump through this wall here, all the way forward until you get to the water. 2, 3. Three twirls and a dash should make it just fine, and that'll respawn you over here. And that's the skip. Super easy, very simple. I would highly recommend learning it. But now, just gonna go to the end of the area. Again, you can use edge jumps to retain your momentum a little bit better off of slides, and be careful on this platform, because if it tilts too far to one side, you'll start sliding off of it. But now, that skip that I did earlier completely skipped getting the hobby horse, so you won't have the hobby horse for the entire run. So the only way to break these doors is with the clockwork bomb. And pretty just basic movement here. Gotta get to the ship. And in that load scene, I mash both cancel and the skip cutscene button to get through that tutorial and the cutscene as fast as possible. And in this section, there's not a ton to do. If you stay in the bottom left in the first part of it, nothing will hit you, so you can just kind of stand still and wait. The first part where you have to do anything is when you get to the rocks. Once you get to the rocks that have the crabs on them, then you start having to actually do things. Alright. Now we're getting over to the cave section. There is a trick here that sort of lets you AFK again, where you don't have to do anything, but there's no guarantees that I'm gonna get it. Basically, just throw yourself into this corner and hope that you clip through like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not really sure what causes it. It doesn't save or lose any time. It just makes things a little easier. Because now I don't really have to press any buttons. Alright. Just mash the skip cutscene button again at the end. Alright, now we're in the underwater section. So, this part right here is pretty basic. It's just, you know, kind of move as fast as you can. You can just kind of drop down and ignore that red spike thingy. Jellyfish, I guess. Alright, so there's another trick here. I guess I'll show the easier way to do this one first, just because that's the only way it's really going to work. So you do not have to kill this sailor guy. If you can hit the side of that platform, you will hit a checkpoint there, and you will hit a checkpoint there, and then spawn up on top of there. That might not work. Might be a little bit too low. Yeah. So you're gonna have to use a glitch jump here. I actually had to lose a little height. Otherwise I was gonna just make the jump. But anyways, yeah, if you can hit this side of the pier, you can make it up here. If you have trouble with that, you can also just, well, I should say, if you have good jumps, you can also make it without ever having to fall. Pretty simple. Just 3 solid jumps and then a glitch jump and dash gets you up there. Now we're just trying to get to the theater. Oh, I should explain that, because that's not intended. Sometimes I forget that's not intended because it's so easy to do. So what you're doing here is, on that platform, there is a trigger that spawns a drifting ruin, and then you have to fight them to lower the thing, and then there's a bunch of drifting ruin around, and they're super annoying. You definitely don't have to do that. Just kind of 3 jumps and a dash. Make sure the jumps are pretty slow, otherwise you'll lose height. And then stay to the right side of this platform, because if you go far way to the left, you'll spawn the drifting ruin, and that's a bad time. And then you can just jump from there onto this thing, instead of having to lower them. Jump onto this jellyfish thing, I guess. I don't really know what they are. And from here you can jump straight onto that platform. And then you have the choice of either hitting that mushroom there, or if there's an invisible platform over to the right side that you can jump onto. I go with the invisible platform because it's a little easier for me. Just 3 nice slow jumps, and then a dash gets you onto it. And then you're able to just move on. And then there's another skip here. This one is going to kind of take advantage of the fact that you can float for as long as you want before doing a glitch jump. So you can stand on this little melon thing. Very nice slow jumps. Float for a while and after the 3rd jump. And then a glitch jump and dash gets you over to here. I don't think I can get back there quickly other than just restarting. So this is just for demonstration. You can make it without the melon there. Totally possible. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult. So, from this platform, up, see, that's one of the things that I'm not great at, is doing a glitch jump from a float. I'm much better at it from just doing it like as soon as possible on the jump, but from a float I have some issues with it. Some people say it's easier from a float, some people, I have issues with it. It's all depending on preference. So yeah, you do not need the melon at all. You can make it with it, or you can make it without it, but it just makes it a little bit easier to have the melon there. And then just directionless dashing gets you into the theater, and then same with here, just more directionless dashing up until you get to that cutscene. And then unfortunately after that cutscene you do have to adjust where you're facing a little bit, because Alice is facing way off to the side for some reason. And in general, when you're going upstairs, I find it a little bit safer to do jump dashing, just because the game has a tendency to get you stuck. I think I've already upgraded. If you have not upgraded your Vorpal Blade at this point, this is going to be the point to do it. The way you fight these crabs is drop a clockwork bomb in front of them, wait for the attack, and then blow up the clockwork bomb to flip them up, and then you can just hit them. There's going to be 3 in this section. Sometimes you can get a little lucky on them and get one flipped over a little bit early. Kind of depends on RNG. See, this is good RNG. Well, it was good RNG, but I screwed it up. But basically, you can use the umbrella to deflect their shots, and that'll also flip them over. Alright, so now what you want to do is when you're shooting this thing, you want to be standing around here. It's not super precise, but I usually line up my shot between these 2 leaves. And that'll kind of make the ground lift you up when it's bringing that up. And then once you're up here, you can just shoot this one. Use some jump dashing to get up those pillars. And then it's time for the squid. Now, the squid is basically a game of hide and seek, but he always hides in the same place. So, no RNG or anything, it's just like, know exactly which bottle he's in, and it's pretty easy. So in this one, he's in this bottle in the back.
A lifetime hiding his true colors gives him
And then sometimes you'll end up on a bad cycle for these platforms. Or you can just miss a jump. That's also possible. I feel like this was kind of an okay cycle. But anyways, you don't have to do any of this puzzle here, like shooting that thing and doing all this stuff. Not necessary at all, because you can make this jump. All it takes is 3 jumps and then a glitch jump, and you're there. And then from here, it's just 3 jumps and a dash, and then it'll land you right on that spring. And then the octopus is, or squid, or whatever he is, it's right through this keyhole in that bottle. Up to here. You can skip that platform. It's really easy. For this one, kind of awkward because of the camera angle after you drop your clockwork bomb. But you want to get onto this bridge as fast as possible, and then it's once you're on the bridge, 2 dashes, and you can shoot it from here. But it can be somewhat difficult because the angle of the camera is pretty bad after this. So like, you don't have to worry too much once you're on it, because your dashes will not throw you off of the ledge, but still not the easiest. And for this mushroom, just jump, twirl, and dash gets you there just fine. And for the last bottle, the bottle is actually just across the room. It's the one in the back right there. I don't know if you can see it, it's a little hard to see, but you can just kind of just like spray some bullets in the back there, and eventually you'll hit it. And then hitting the bottle like the cutscene for the squid teleports you across the map. So now you wanna just kind of like jam yourself into this thing while you wait for Octopus to finish his lines, skip the cutscene, and then just go forward. The order you do this area in doesn't matter at all, but there is an order that I'm going to do because it's a lot easier for the movement. So, kind of just jump dash over to the right here, get onto this bridge, and then you can go ahead and jump dash over here. And now it's just combat. Pretty basic. If you get a chance to kill the cuttlefish, eat quickly, definitely take it, because they're very annoying because of that. Also because of that, but if he goes underground, all you can really do is that. And try and get him away from that wall, because that wall kind of eats your attacks. And then the reason we do it in this order is because it kind of lets you just dash forward at the after every fight, instead of having to like try and line up a direction. Just kind of dash straight forward and then adjust after a second. In this fight, I like to take care of the crab first, and then deal with all the insidious ruins after that. And then from here, you're able to just keep dashing straight all the way up till the door. And this is another one where I'm going to try and distract the menacing ruin while I fight other things. Because the cuttlefish are just much more annoying. But he decided to throw a fireball right away, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that first. God dang it. That was poor timing. Okay. Okay, I guess he's still underground or something. So for now, I'm just gonna kill the menacing ruin while that cuttlefish is being a jerk. Alright, that's all of them. And you are able to skip this musical challenge. First you say you're ready, and then you can just go ahead and skip it. Just keep mashing, well, I guess for me it's the back button. I don't know what it is on keyboard and mouse. But whatever button you use to skip cutscenes. Alright. God dang it. I had that wrong. Yeah, this is just more combat, so it's every time you kill cannon crabs in any percent, it's the exact same. Like, there's not really reacting to anything they do other than whether they shoot or not. Really. So from this, you can jump from the end of this bed up to that head. And you can kind of just two good high twirls and then a flat twirl gets you up here. And this area is gonna demonstrate for sure how hitboxes are a little strange in this game. So the damaging hitboxes for those red spiky enemies is only the top part. Let me see, I don't remember if it's... There we go. It's only that blue part. So the bottom doesn't hurt you at all. So I'm gonna just go ahead and jump through the bottom to get straight to that vent. And then for this one, you have to be a little bit careful. Make sure you drop before you start twirling. But you could do the same exact thing of just go right through the bottom. And it's 3 jumps and a dash. Or 3 twirls and a dash, I should say. And this is another fight where I just try and kill the crab as fast as possible and then deal with the insidious ruins. Alright, so now when these two spawn, I like to kill this one first with my pepper grinder, and then just knife the other one down. Skip the cutscenes, and then you can kind of just hold forward at the start, or after the cutscene there. So now for this area, it doesn't technically matter, or I shouldn't say technically, it doesn't really matter which order you get them in. All that affects is kind of your movement across the area. So the way I like to do is I go and do the fight first because it's the hardest one, and it's also makes the movement a little smoother because you go from there and then across around that side. So again, I want to kill the crab first because otherwise it'll be a giant pain. Cuttlefish are very annoying enemies. Okay. Now that fight is done. By the way, I can't do anything about those borders. It happens sometimes. The debug mode in this game is a little bit glitchy, which is interesting to say that there's bugs in debug mode, but you know. It was published by EA. It was probably probably a little faster. Or probably a little bit rushed, I should say.
I need the poster now.
Oh, I should explain that. Hold on. So, for this area, you just jump up here, drop the clockwork bomb here, and then as soon as you skip the cutscene, it'll give you more jumps, so it's pretty safe to just jump right away. And there's this giant invisible platform to land on. So it's also fairly safe.
Quickly, he could be here any
And then it teleports you back to the puzzle.
Let us resume our place before our adoring.
Alright, so now here's the dead sailor fight. Or drowned sailor fight. This guy can be a huge jerk sometimes. Just try and drop a clockwork bomb to distract him. When he does this attack, just shoot him right after he comes out of the ground. To get a little extra damage in before you start hitting him with the Vorpal Blade. And it's not too bad to 2-cycle depending on what RNG he gives you. Now, in this area, there's another skip that I'm going to recommend that everybody does. However, there is a slight difference. The reason that I recommended the Tundraful skip for everyone is because it's incredibly easy. Very, very, very easy. This skip is not that easy. It's actually fairly difficult. But the reason I recommend you do it is because the area it skips, which is the area over there, the Lockers of Lost Souls, is very, very slow and very, very uninteresting. This skip alone saves 7 to 8 minutes. And what that means is you have 7 to 8 minutes of attempting this skip and failing it before you start losing time to playing this area as intended. Which is why I would highly recommend everybody learn this skip. So, over there, there's that green box. That area is a death plane. What we're gonna do, or that death plane spawns for, I think it spawns you over here somewhere. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just barely touch that death plane enough that it activates it, but I don't really know how it works, but you touch the death plane, and then you turn the camera, and it kind of deactivates that death plane, and lowers it to a different area, and then it spawns you in a different area. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'm just going to do it. Also, be careful of the hitboxes here. You want to go around the side of this wall, and the hitbox isn't that close to the texture. You can see there's a pretty big gap there, so just be careful not to hit it. Really slow jumps. Float for a second. There I floated a little bit too long, but you want to do a glitch jump right as you're about to hit the death plane, and then do a dash, and during the dash move your camera around so that it's facing the other direction. Missed the glitch jump there. It's unfortunate. But this is an example of what I mean when I say this skip is not super easy, but very, very much worth it. That's another thing that can happen. That is, if you don't get enough distance, you won't hit the lower hitbox, and you'll just keep falling into the void if you let it go. So what you have to do is go ahead and restart from the checkpoint. Again, I waited just a little too long before I tried doing the glitch jump. This trick is fairly finicky, but I usually don't get it too much. Okay, that is an easier way to explain it, but this is another glitch that can happen. You jump over that death barrier that I was pointing out, and by turning the camera, you despawn that one, spawn a different one that goes to a different area. That is the easiest way to explain it. But yeah, that glitch can happen where, for some reason, I'm not sure exactly what causes it, you'll die, but then it'll just never respawn you. And the only way to deal with that is restarting from checkpoint. There we go. That's what it should look like if you get it correctly, and then it spawns you over here at the top of this slide. And then there's also a skip on this slide. I will show the skip first. If you're not used to edge jumps and slide mechanics, it's going to be difficult. So if you have to kind of not do that skip and just do the Colossal Ruin fight, I will show that as well. So the way the skip works, this slide is kind of weird with its edge jump mechanics, so you don't get a ton of speed from them off of some of these. But at this curve coming up here, I'm going to jump off, get as much... that was unfortunate. That's what happens when you float after an edge jump. Yeah, I'm going to get as much speed as I can and try and land on an invisible wall ahead of me, which I'm going to go ahead and turn on the collision or turn on the viewer for the collision on that wall. There we go. Nice and easy. So now you want to go kind of around this invisible wall. It's pretty easy, just like I said before, just keep dashing with directionless, like neutral stick, and then dash over to the side here, and you want to land on these invisible walls that are above these kind of wooden things. And then that's the end of the level. So if you are doing this skip, just jump over in that direction and it'll take you right to the end of the level. But I'm gonna go ahead and go back and show what to do in the Colossal Ruin fight, which is pretty simple. It's basically just play it as intended, but I'll show it anyways. So if you're doing this fight, or let's say you were attempting that skip and the edge jump didn't go well and you just wanted to recover it into like not attempting that skip, then here's what it would look like. Like, oop, oh, I have no speed. I guess I'll just do the fight. So there are a few attacks that he can do. This one's not too bad. Basically, he's gonna shoot three balls, which gives you plenty of time to shoot both of the faces that he exposes. This attack is a little bit worse because it does not give you very much time. The way you avoid this attack is he cannot pick you up if you're shrunk. So you can just kind of stand right next to him and shrink and you won't take any damage. Looks like he's not going to do his other attack. His other attack is he throws a bunch of things in the air, and that's another pretty good attack. As long as you avoid getting hit, it's very easy to spend a lot of time shooting him, and he also spawns all of his faces. So that means you get a chance to do a ton of damage to him, which is very nice. And now from here it's just going to the end of the level. I'll go ahead and turn off the collision viewer thing. Ah, god dang it, that's unfortunate. Yeah, there we go. Good enough. Good enough. So, just go right into the theater. And that is the end of Chapter 2, and that is also the end of my Chapter 2 tutorial. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut stream for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to try and record the Chapter 3 tutorial probably later tonight. But if it's not later tonight, then it'll be tomorrow. Until then, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask me. Either message me at twitch.tv/kinkykadence or go ahead and leave it in the comment section below, and I will get to you. I will go ahead and do my best to answer any questions you have. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.